With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin. A long-standing lawsuit involving the Barnstable Municipal Airport is over. Yesterday, a final decision on a suit brought forth by Bottini Prime was made. The Town of Barnstable, Cape Cod Commission, and the airport, all named in the suit, prevailed. Bottini Prime is the owner of the Wendy's restaurant adjacent to the airport. They sued based on concerns over the impact new traffic patterns would have on the business. The town issued a temporary occupancy permit for the brand new terminal earlier this month. Town Council President Fred Chirigotis joined me on Barnstable this morning earlier today to discuss the case. Take me back a little bit. Give me your take on what's going on here.
Actually, the action by Bottini Prime was actually against the Cape Cod Commission, the Barnstable Municipal Airport, and the Town of Barnstable, and I think at one point even against the building commissioner for the Town of Barnstable.
Yes.
Final judgment has been entered by the judge in the land court who had jurisdiction over all matters. I believe at least one of those actions was filed in the Superior Court, and they were all consolidated and heard by Judge Gordon Piper, who issued a ruling yesterday in favor of the Cape Cod Commission, the Municipal Airport, the Building Commissioner, and the Town of Barnstable on all matters.
Exactly, and definitely good news. I know in my conversations with Bud Brielt, who's the airport manager over there, that was one thing he was definitely hoping to be cleared up, relatively quickly. And this is something that's been going on for a long time. And I think there was a 40-something page judgment that was issued yesterday. So tell me a little bit. Can you talk to me a little bit about the history of this, about what the big sticking points were, Fred?
Well, there were a number of issues, but the primary thing is that, and first of all, and this is a history that has been going back, I want to say till at least like 2007 or even earlier than that. But basically what had happened is, at one point, the airport wanted to do an expansion. So they went to the Cape Cod Commission, who designated this to be I believe, a development of regional impact, and the Cape Cod Commission was involved, and they wrote out a plan, which was approved by the Cape Cod Commission. And in that plan, they had a traffic configuration that included a light at, I think, Nightingale Road, which would cross 132. And Bottini Prime filed suit about that, and at some point in time, they came up with a memorandum of understanding and moved forward, and they agreed to talk about traffic patterns at some future point, or, so there's been contention over traffic. It's not really about the airport expansion itself or about the control tower. It was primarily about Bottini Prime, which is the owners of the property where Wendy's is, were upset that the traffic configuration as designed may affect the egress in and out of their restaurant. So, go ahead. And
they were concerned about that new traffic pattern possibly taking business away from them, correct? I think that was one of their big issues.
Well, I don't think they were worried about increasing business. I think they were worried about losing business. But be as it may, in time what happened is the airport project itself has changed a number of times. In fact, been downsized, I want to say, at least by a third, so and perhaps even more. And in addition to changing the size of the traffic change, the road changes, access, egress, all that stuff, all those kinds of things change. However, Bottini Prime was arguing that the Cape Cod Commission and the Town of Barnstable and the airport were stuck with the original memorandum of understanding. However, as the judge found, the memorandum of understanding had nothing to do with the traffic pattern. That's not what was agreed. So, anyway, judgment was entered yesterday, and in addition, I think it really was pushed because I believe Bottini Prime had just filed for another injunction because recently the Transportation and Safety Administration had contacted the town and let them know that the airport as it was right now was in violation of safety standards, and there was an inspection at the airport, and an emergency order was issued to open the new terminal and close the old terminal. So Bottini Prime filed for a preliminary injunction to prevent that from happening. The preliminary injunction is extraordinary relief in a court, and that was actually scheduled to be heard today, and instead the judge issued a final judgment on all issues, basically dismissing the action for terminating the action for a preliminary injunction, which would have been heard today, because he found that there was no substantial likelihood that Bottini could prevail. And his very thoughtful 49-page decision by Judge Gordon Pipe, who's a very, very well-respected land court judge. So, you know, the history has been long. It's been contentious. Hopefully, it is better to work together than it is to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in litigation in this type of litigation without really. I mean, I want to say that. Well, what I will say is that it's very good that the judge has found the way he did. I don't see any issues, although I haven't read it a whole host of ways over and over. I've read the judgment. I've read some of the orders, and I believe that the airport will just go forward from here, and hopefully Bottini Prime will not be adversely affected as they suspect they're going to be.
Exactly, and I think looking at that traffic pattern that is over there at the airport, I can't imagine that it would, cause anybody to not use that business as they had planned to use it.
Well, you know, it's interesting because Route 132 from the airport to Finney's Lane is controlled by the town, but Route 28 Route 28 and the Rotary are controlled by the state. So the traffic, you know, there has to be a cooperation between a host of different entities to change. You know, the airport Rotary has been studied, I can't tell you how many times, and Route 28 heading down into Yarmouth has been studied a host of times, and, you know, Barnstable Road has been studied. It's an extremely difficult traffic pattern that they have, and the whole idea is that at some point that traffic has to be corrected because it really is a bottleneck there. But I think what everyone has found is that you don't hold up the airport to correct the traffic that, you know, is a whole different issue.
No, exactly. And I mean, when we think about that particular area, Barnstable Road, the airport Rotary, that particular section of 132 and 28, I mean, that is, if I think about traffic, that's where it is, at least in the village of Hyannis, and really, I think probably one of the most congested places on all of Cape Cod. And I know the Cape Cod Commission is taking a look at that section of 28 down to Yarmouth Road, so I think more traffic improvements are in the way at some point in the future. Whether they'll happen this year, probably not likely, but sometime at least, I think, within the next decade.
Well, you never know. I've heard, and I've spoken to our Representative Demetrius Atzelis, who's now the Vice Chair of the Transportation Committee. He's resurrecting the idea of exit 6.5, and the whole idea of having an exit in between exit 6 and exit 7 off of Route 6 is to relieve traffic in a whole host of areas, but it would include relieving traffic on Route 132 and perhaps that area of Route 28, so relieve traffic there. You know, originally when Independence Drive was designed, it was designed to go straight all the way through to Willow Street, and there actually are roads back there, and I know that that's a pristine watershed, and there's a whole host of environmental issues, and why. But that road, if that road could go all the way across, that would relieve a whole host of traffic off of Route 28 and the airport Rotary. But, you know, remains to be seen.
In other news, liquor stores will be open for business on the Monday following Christmas. Because the holiday is on a Sunday this year, the state's blue laws require such businesses to close up shop not only on that Sunday, but also the following Monday. Saying this would be a hardship for not only store owners, but also Massachusetts residents, Governor Deval Patrick signed a bill this week, allowing the stores to open on Monday, December 26th. Be sure to join us on Barnstable this morning, Friday morning, for our special holiday show. We'll be live at 7:30 a.m. Friday morning, right here on Channel 18. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.